What's up, guys? So, in very exciting news, Square Enix announced the other day that they would be having a Square Enix Reveals presentation, and in that presentation, they would be unveiling a new Life is Strange game. Now, personally, I'm a huge fan of the Life is Strange series. I love Life is Strange Season 1 and Before the Storm, and I'm currently working my way through Season 2. I know I'm like a million years behind the times. I haven't played The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, but I do have it, so I thought I might even play it for the channel at one point. But, so yeah, I've been a huge fan of the series since the first one released in 2015, I think. I really enjoy their storytelling and the art style, and I think they do a really fantastic job of building those, interpersonal human connections and blending the more peaceful domestic aspects with the supernatural aspects that their games have. And whatever the broader story is, whether it's, investigating Rachel Amber's disappearance in Season 1 or the road trip aspect of Season 2 and so on. So I watched the Square Enix presentation, and I have to say that personally I'm really excited by the trailer they showed as well as the other information they provided. This new game is going to be called Life is Strange True Colors, and it's being developed by Deck 9, which is the studio that brought us Before the Storm earlier in the series, and I thought they did a really great job with that prequel. So obviously there's a lot we still don't know, but from what they've shown us, we're going to be following a new protagonist called Alex Chen. Alex has apparently spent a lot of time in the foster care system, so although we don't know how long she's been in the system or the circumstances that led to her being in the system, it seems that at the start of the game, her brother Gabe has invited her to come to the town he is in Haven Springs. They revealed that the siblings haven't seen each other in 8 years, so depending on what we learn about their backstory, it could be a thing where her brother wasn't old enough or capable enough of taking guardianship of her at the time, maybe. He might have been in the system himself, we're just not sure yet. So it seems that Alex goes to Haven Springs for a fresh start and to reconnect with her brother, and of course Haven Springs is a beautiful, idyllic town in much the same vein that you get with Arcadia Bay. Although in this iteration, Haven Springs is like a mountainous region rather than, Arcadia Bay is obviously a waterside town. And Alex connects with her brother and he introduces her around, and you get the sense that she's wanting to start a fresh chapter here. Unfortunately, as is always the case in Life is Strange, things can't stay quaint and idyllic forever. Alex's brother Gabe dies seemingly very early in the game in what is called a senseless tragic accident. And you get the sense that the town wants to mourn, but otherwise move on and not ask too many questions. It gave me the small town vibe of not wanting to dig too deeply into something, otherwise you might uncover something that you didn't want to find out. And of course it seems like this is going to be exactly what happens in some capacity, because things about her brother's death just don't add up to Alex, and she's determined to find out the truth. And that's where we come to Alex's ability. Since a huge component of Life is Strange games is the supernatural, we find out that Alex has the psychic ability of empathy. Basically, she can sense and read the feelings of others around her, and if she focuses hard enough, she can even maybe kind of learn the reason behind those emotions and maybe even kind of manipulate those emotions herself. And of course, the drawback of that is that if a feeling is particularly powerful, it can actually overwhelm her as well, and she can take that feeling on herself. Basically, I think it will be very similar to the how there were limits to Max's time rewind powers and how drained it caused her to be and how it caused nosebleeds, as well as how Daniel in Season 2 had to train his powers, and it could be really physically exhausting for him to exert them. But this ability seems like it'll be a really valuable asset in investigating Gabe's death, because obviously she'll be able to sense if people feel anxious or defensive, or maybe you're lying to her when she's questioning them. And it's obviously too early to speculate where the broader mystery will end up taking us with her brother's death, but I'm really interested to see how her powers and the town as a whole end up shaping that mystery. Oh, and I'm biased, but one huge selling point for me, Steph is back. For those familiar with the series, you will recognize Steph from Before the Storm. She was one of the side characters at Blackwell Academy that you could interact with throughout the game, and honestly, I love her. The D&D tabletop sections that you could choose to play with her and Mikey were so great, and I love that she's just a very unabashedly straightforward person, as evidenced by the fact that she just outright asked Chloe if she and Rachel were together because she was planning to ask Rachel out otherwise. she's just a super caring friend. You really see her through like optional side conversations and texts and all that. You just get a really great sense for her personality. So I'm really excited to have her back. They announced in the presentation that she'll be one of the romance options for True Colors. So, you know, enough said. Steph was always one of the side characters that I enjoyed the most from Before the Storm. And I wanted more from her. So I'm very interested to see how she's ended up in Haven Springs and what's going on with her now and how she'll play into the larger story. Also, in a departure for the series, they'll actually be dropping the whole game all at once. It seems like the game will still be broken up into episodes, but we won't have to wait months in between each episode drop. Although, knowing the Life is Strange series, we'll probably be grateful to take a few emotional breaks between episodes to rebuild our emotional fortitude. Or drink. Drinking is also a good option when it comes to the choices they inflict upon you. Another really cool announcement they made at the presentation was that they are going to be releasing Life is Strange Season 1 and Before the Storm in a remastered collection. So obviously that is going to mean improved art styles and things like that. Personally, I'm super excited for this. I've replayed both of those games several times now just to, you know, explore different choices and the consequences of them and just to kind of immerse myself in the whole tone of those games. So I'm very interested to see how this remastered collection, what it improves upon, what it changes. And it is actually, I think, going to be bundled together in the Ultimate Edition if you get True Colors as well. So that's very awesome. It'll be available, both games will be available, I think, in September of this year. So that's super exciting. Can't wait for them to get here. So yeah, those are just a few of my thoughts. I'm super excited. I didn't even really know they were working on a new Life is Strange game. So all of this news kind of caught me off guard right when I've actually been revisiting a lot of Life is Strange. So it was kind of the perfect moment. I can't wait for September. I'm of course gonna get a hold of it as soon as I can. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Are you excited for the game? What are some things you hope to see? How do you think Alex's powers will play into the story? Are there any characters you're really excited about that we maybe saw showcased? Yeah, so just drop that in the comments below. Any thoughts you have, I would love to have a discussion about it. I could talk about Life is Strange all day. But yeah, give this video a like if you enjoyed it, if you're excited for Life is Strange True Colors. Subscribe to the channel and hit notifications. Hopefully I'll have more stuff coming out. But yeah, other than that, have a great day.